I spent 3 years working slot maintenance at MGM Grand in Las Vegas. I've opened over 10,000 slot machines. I've seen the algorithms. I've watched the payout percentages get adjusted. And I can tell you with absolute certainty, you're losing because casinos engineer every single detail to drain your wallet as efficiently as possible. But there are 5 specific tactics they use that most players don't even notice, and once you understand them, you can actually flip the odds slightly more in your favor. Here's what casinos don't want you to know about slot machines. Straight from people who programmed them, maintained them, and watched thousands of players lose their money to them. Reason 1, you're playing machines with 85% payback while better machines sit 20 feet away. You walk into the casino and sit down at the first slot machine near the entrance. Bright lights, familiar theme, comfortable chair. You start playing. 2 hours later, you've burned through $300 and won maybe $40 back. You think you're unlucky. You're not unlucky. You're playing a machine program to keep 15% of every dollar you put in. Slot machines near entrances, buffet lines, and show queues have the lowest payout percentages in the entire casino. These are called placement machines, and they're intentionally set to 85 to 88% payback. Industry standard for good machines is 92 to 96% payback. That 7 to 10% difference seems small. But over 500 spins, it's the difference between losing $150 versus losing $60. Casinos know that new arrivals or people waiting in lines will play machines within arm's reach. You're not there to gamble seriously. You're killing time or just starting your session. They put the worst machines in these spots because players in these positions have the lowest attention span and won't notice they're losing faster than they should. But here's what most players never realize. Walk 30 feet deeper into the casino floor, away from entrances and walkways, and the payout percentages increase dramatically. Machines in the center of the floor, away from distractions, typically run 92 to 95% payback because casinos want serious players, the ones who'll sit for hours to feel like they're getting action. Never play the first machine you see. Restaurants or show venues. Walk to the center of the slot floor. Look for areas where serious players are sitting. Older folks who've been there for hours, people with beverage setups and buckets of coins. Those areas have better machines because casinos know experienced players migrate to better payback zones. A former slot director at Caesar's Palace told me, "We put the 85% machines where tourists walk. We put the 94% machines where locals play." Locals know the difference. Tourists don't. Now you know. Reason 2, you're chasing losses with max bet, which is exactly what they programmed you to do. You're down $100. You think, I need to win it back fast. You switch from $1 spins to $5 spins. Or you start hitting the max bet button, going from $2.50 per spin to $6.25 per spin. You tell yourself bigger bets mean bigger wins. You're down $300 instead of $100. Modern slot machines have algorithms that detect betting pattern changes. When you increase your bet size after losing, the machine doesn't suddenly give you better odds. But your brain thinks it does because of confirmation bias. You remember the one time you hit a bonus round on max bet and forget the 47 times you didn't. Here's the brutal math. Let's say you're playing a 92% payback machine. At $1 per spin, your expected loss is 8 cents per spin. You can play 500 spins on $100 before going broke. Now you switch to $5 per spin because you're chasing. Your expected loss is now 40 cents per spin. You can only play 100 spins before that same $100 is gone. You didn't increase your chances of winning. You increased your rate of losing by 5x. A slot programmer who worked for IGT, the largest slot manufacturer, explained this. We tested betting behavior for years. Players who increase bet size after losses burn through their bankroll 4-6 times faster than players who maintain consistent bets. The machine doesn't care what you bet. The house edge is the same. But players think bigger bets mean they're due for a win. They're not. But here's what actually happens when you max bet. You trigger the exact psychological response casinos want. You feel like you're fighting back against the machine. You feel active instead of passive. This emotional engagement keeps you playing longer and betting more, which is exactly how casinos make money. They don't want you to win. They want you to play more spins per hour. How to fix it? Pick a bet size you can afford for at least 300 spins and never change it. If you're playing with $100, bet 25-30 cents per spin maximum. If you start losing, don't increase your bet, decrease it, or stop playing. The math doesn't care about your feelings. Chasing losses with bigger bets is how players go from down $50 to down $500 in 20 minutes. The only time max bet makes sense. On old-school mechanical reel slots, rare now, say max bet, sometimes unlocks higher payout percentages or progressive jackpots. On modern video slots, max bet does nothing except drain your money faster. Reason 3. You're playing fast, and speed is how casinos destroy you. You're sitting at a slot machine, hitting that spin button as fast as possible. Spin, watch, spin, watch, spin, watch. You're playing 12-15 spins per minute. You think speed doesn't matter because each spin is independent. You're wrong. Speed is everything. Casinos measure revenue by spins per hour per machine. Their goal is maximizing this number because more spins means more house edge collected. Modern slot machines are designed to process spins in under 3 seconds. The faster you play, the faster you lose, not because odds change, but because you're giving the house edge more opportunities to take your money. Here's the math that destroys players. You're playing a machine with 92% payback, 8% house edge at $1 per spin. If you play 10 spins per minute, you're exposing $10 per minute to the house edge, losing 80 cents per minute on average. That's $48 per hour in expected losses. Now you play faster, 15 spins per minute, same machine, same bet. You're now exposing $15 per minute to the house edge, losing $1.20 per minute or $72 per hour. You increased your losses by 50% simply by playing faster. A casino surveillance manager told me we track spin rate on high-denomination machines. Players who spin fast lose their bankroll 40% faster than players who take their time. We love fast players. They think they're getting more action for their money. They're actually just losing faster. But here's the psychological trick. Slot machines are designed to make fast play feel natural. The spin button is placed where your thumb naturally rests. The reels stop quickly to minimize downtime. Win animations are short. Everything is optimized to make you hit that button again immediately. This isn't accidental. It's engineered to maximize your hourly loss rate. How to fix it? Slow down. Deliberately. Wait 5-10 seconds between spins. Look around the casino. Check your phone. Take a sip of your drink. Your goal is to play 6-8 spins per minute maximum instead of 12-15. This cuts your expected hourly losses by 40 to 50%. You're playing the same machine with the same odds. But you're giving the house edge half as many chances to take your money. A professional slot player, yes, they exist, told me. Recreational players think more spins means more chances to win. Professional players know fewer spins means less exposure to house edge. I play 400 spins in 90 minutes instead of 45 minutes. Same entertainment, half the losses. Reason 4. You're misunderstanding hot and cold machines. They don't exist. You watch someone win $800 on a machine. They cash out and leave. You immediately sit down thinking that machine is hot. It's paying out. 30 minutes later, you've lost $200, and the machine hasn't hit anything significant. Or you avoid machines that just paid out because you think they need time to refill. Both strategies are completely wrong. Every spin on a modern slot machine is determined by a random number generator, RNG, running constantly. The RNG generates thousands of number combinations per second. The outcome is determined by whatever number the RNG is on at that exact microsecond. Previous spins have exactly zero influence on future spins. A machine that just paid out $5,000 has the exact same probability of paying out again on the very next spin. Here's the technical reality. The RNG operates on a cycle that repeats every few billion spins. The machine doesn't know. It just paid out. It doesn't need to collect money before paying out again. Each spin is independent. Statistically, a machine that just hit a jackpot is equally likely to hit another jackpot immediately as a machine that hasn't paid in 6 months. A slot technician who programmed machines for Aristocrat explained, "Players think machines have memory. They don't. The RNG runs continuously whether anyone is playing or not. If you walk away and someone else sits down, they're not getting your win. They're getting whatever outcome the RNG generates at their exact moment of pressing the button. If you'd waited 1 millisecond longer, you'd have gotten a different outcome. The machine doesn't care who's playing or what happened before. But here's why this myth persists: confirmation bias. You remember the one time you sat down after someone won, and you won too. You forget the 20 times you sat down after someone won and lost. Humans are wired to see patterns, even in random events. Casinos exploit this by letting myths spread because they keep players engaged and playing longer. How to fix it? Ignore what just happened on any machine. A machine that paid out 10 seconds ago has identical odds to a machine that hasn't paid in a week. Choose machines based on pay table, bet denomination, and location on the floor, not based on recent results. Don't waste time machine hopping looking for hot machines. They don't exist. The only real pattern that matters: machines in better locations center of floor, away from walkways, have better long-term payout percentages. That's it. That's the only pattern that's real. Reason 5, you're playing until you lose. Instead of having a win goal, you sit down with $200. You play for an hour, and you're up $180. You think, "I'm on a roll. Let me keep playing." 90 minutes later, you've lost the $180 profit and your original $200. You leave broke, angry and confused about how you went from winning to losing. This happens because you don't have a win goal. You only stop when you're out of money. Casinos know that 99% of players will continue playing until they lose everything. It doesn't matter if you're up $50 or $500. If you keep playing indefinitely, the house edge guarantees you'll eventually lose it all. The only players who leave winners are players who set a win target and stop immediately when they hit it. Here's the brutal statistical reality. Every slot machine has a house edge. Let's say it's 8%. Over infinite spins, you will lose 8% of everything you wager. If you play 100 spins and get lucky, you might be up $200. But the house edge is still working. If you play 1,000 more spins, probability says you'll drift back toward expected loss. If you play 10,000 spins, you're almost guaranteed to be net negative. The only way to beat this is to stop playing while variance has you ahead. A casino host who worked at Bellagio told me the best customers are the ones who win $1,000 and keep playing. They think they're hot or lucky. They're not. They're experiencing statistical variance. Give them 3 more hours and they'll lose the $1,000 plus their original bankroll. The only players we hate are the ones who win $300 and immediately cash out and leave. Those players actually beat us. But here's what winning players do differently. They set a win goal before playing. If I turn $200 into $350, I'm done. They cash out immediately. No one more spin. They understand that the house edge is constantly working against them. And the only way to capture winnings is to stop before variance reverses. How to fix it? Before you sit down, decide on 2 numbers: your loss limit and your win goal. Loss limit: I'm playing with $200, and if I lose it, I'm done. Win goal: if I get to $350 total, I'm cashing out immediately. The moment you hit either number, you stand up and walk away. Don't negotiate with yourself. Don't think one more spin. Stop. The math that proves this works. If you play until broke, you have a 100% chance of losing. If you set a win goal of 50 to 75% profit and stop when you hit it, you'll leave a winner roughly 30 to 40% of the time. That's still not profitable long term, but it's infinitely better than the 0% win rate of playing until broke. Professional advantage players do this religiously. They play until they hit a predetermined profit target. Then they leave. They might play 3 sessions and lose 2 of them, but the one winning session covers the losses because they stopped while ahead. Recreational players play 3 sessions, win 2 of them temporarily, keep playing, and lose all 3. The one strategy that actually works from someone who beats slots for a living. I met a guy in Las Vegas who made $40,000 per year playing slot machines professionally for 8 years. Not gambling, treating it like a job. Here's his exact system. 1. Only play machines with 96% plus payback. He tracked which machines paid better using slot club data and player forums. Most casinos have a few high-denomination machines, $5, $25 per spin, with 96 to 98% payback to attract high rollers. He'd play these exclusively. 2. Play slow. 300 spins per session maximum. 3 spread over 60-90 minutes. That's 1 spin every 12-18 seconds. 3. Win goal, 5% profit. He'd start with $1,000, play until he was up $50, and immediately cash out. It sounds small, but 5% per session adds up when you play daily. Loss limit 20%. If he dropped to $800, he'd stop and try again tomorrow. 5. Track everything. He logged every session, wins, losses, time played, machine location. After 100 sessions, he identified which machines and times had the best results and played those exclusively. His win rate was 42%. He lost 58% of sessions. But when he won enough to cover losses and make $150-200 per day on average. That's how you beat slots, not by getting lucky, but by minimizing losses and capturing small wins consistently. What the casino actually wants you to do, the casino wants you to play machines near entrances, lowest payback, chase losses with bigger bets, faster bankroll depletion, play as fast as possible. Maximize house edge exposure, believe in hot and cold machines, keeps you playing longer, keep playing when you're winning, ensures you give it all back. Every single one of these behaviors is engineered into the casino environment. The layout, the machine design, the reward psychology, it's all designed to make you play longer, bet bigger, and lose faster. What winning players actually do, play machines in the center of the floor, better payback, maintain consistent bet size regardless of results, play slowly and deliberately, 6 spins per minute. Ignore previous results and choose machines by paytable. Set a win goal and leave immediately when they hit it. The difference between losing players and winning players isn't luck. It's understanding how slot machines actually work, recognizing the psychological traps casinos set, and having the discipline to stop playing while you're ahead. You're not going to get rich playing slots. The house edge is real, and it always wins long term. But if you avoid these 5 traps, you'll lose less, win more often, and occasionally walk out ahead. And that's as close to beating the casino as anyone gets with slot machines.